When is a short not a short? When it's an X short. Confused? Stay tuned. The BYGONE Hunter here, and welcome to the debut episode of Yesteryear and Beyond, the X Shorts. That's right, the X Shorts. Not the shorts, the X Shorts. Now, I'm pretty sure the first thing that's coming across your cerebellum right now is, what the heck is an X Short? Alright, well, first things first. I want you to take the X in X Shorts, and I want you to completely remove the possibility of that X standing for anything that has to do with the X-Men franchise. I just want you to take that and move it completely out of your mind, alright? No, in this instance, and on this channel, the X stands for extended, lengthened. That's all it is. So, let me illustrate. Okay, first of all, I was about to show you something, but before I get to that, I know you're probably thinking that, alright, well, first off, it can't be a short. There's no way, because it's not in the correct format. You have your, whatever you're calling here, these X shorts, in landscape, like regular videos, instead of short format, which is the vertical. You're absolutely correct. But the reason I'm calling it X shorts is because, you see, as I was filming a lot of these shorts, I realized that I was having to do a lot of chopping. I was having to do a lot of editing. And I left so much content on the cutting room floor that, you know, sometimes I didn't feel like I was getting my point across completely. And the reason I had to do that is because for the shorts, you only have a 3-minute total time limit. Well, some of my shorts run much longer than that because I get into a groove and I keep moving, my thoughts keep going, and I don't want to come to a stopping point until I'm ready to come to a stopping point. So, you know, I have had to chop some episodes up, some of those shorts up. I've also decided on taking, you know, and making multiple episodes out of one topic, just chopping those up into multiple episodes, and I'm still having to chop some of those each time to edit those down to get them to fit into that 3-minute segment. Now, you know, I could be like some of the TikTok people out there, actually most of the TikTok people out there. I could be like the Instagram people out there doing their reels, and just throw something out there with not a lot to it, and get millions of views, right? That's a possibility. I doubt I'm gonna get millions. I haven't even got, trust me, views. I'm still new at this, so I'm still not getting the views I would like to see yet. But as far as I've seen, it takes time. It takes time and patience, and I'm starting to understand that. But I like to make a show out of virtually everything. So I'm trying to make a show which includes an intro and music and all that, and then the topic. And I like to, you know, I'm having to cram that into 3 minutes. So when I attach the intro to my topic, well, that shortens what I can put in there as that content, that actual me talking to the screen. So I found that I have a lot of, you know, extra footage. So what am I going to do with this extra cutting room floor footage? And then it dawned on me, why not just take the short footage and repurpose it in its entirety as unedited as possible, and just repackage it, repurpose it as something else. And that something else is what you're watching right now. the X shorts. And trust me, I'm not going to keep doing this every time I say X, okay? But that's really all it is. And yes, I'm having to kind of reformat those shorts because they were shot vertically. So that's why things are kind of blown up, if you have actually watched any of the shorts. But you see, another reason I'm doing this is because I also realized, it was proven to me, because I tested it out in one of the ads I did for episode number 2 of Yesteryear and Beyond. Get your eyes on it. I tested it out. I tested out the idea that the shorts that you're filming have absolutely no impact on your long form content. Okay? Well, you know, I couldn't understand that. I really couldn't. You know, I'm sitting here, couldn't get this hard head to accept what all these YouTube gurus out there have already apparently proven to be true, that your shorts, that's a completely different demographic and a completely different algorithm as opposed to your long form content. Well, I tried it out, I tested it out, I filmed quite a few shorts, and I kept sending them out there to see if I could get any views on my upcoming episode number 2 at the time. Because episode 2 is out there now, so if you want to see it, you can see it. And trust me, it's not an hour and 39 minutes like episode 1 is, but you can still take that hour and 39 minute challenge and watch the debut episode of Yesteryear and Beyond right here exclusively on YouTube, as well as now episode number 2. And get this, episode number 3 is in the works. All right. So anyhow, getting back to the point. You know, I realized that after I didn't get the views that I wanted to on episode 2, I realized that all the work and all the plugging I was doing for episode 2, just completely through shorts, when it didn't have an impact, that's when I realized they're right. Apparently they are correct. So I thought, okay, I'm going to try something a little different. I am going to, and I've already gone through this. I know I'm just kind of almost getting to a point of rambling here, and I'm also kind of losing track of what I've already said. But I decided just to repurpose the shorts that I've already filmed, and not all of them, but the ones that have exceeded that 3-minute time limit, and put a little wraparound, from the me introducing, and probably at the end I may say something as well, and just putting that out there and seeing where that goes. And I said I was going to do something. I think I did, at least. I can't remember. I've talked so much here. But let me give you an illustration of what I mean by the shorts versus the X shorts, okay? All right, so imagine, if you will, these right here. Yeah, I'm serious. Yeah, these right here. These are my shorts. No, really, these are my shorts. So, okay, you see the length? You see the length right here, okay? All right, so those are the shorts. So now, these are the X shorts, okay? Look at that, right there. Longer, see, extended, longer. These are the X shorts. So, that's all there is to it. And once I exhaust all of the material that I can dig up as far as the original shorts that I've posted, as all that goes, then you are going to just see first run X shorts content, okay? I'm going to film those first, and then I'm going to edit those down into the shorts. That's just all it is to it. Just that simple. All right. So, what is the first short that I am going to show you right now? All right. Well, I'm glad you asked. And more than likely, if you're still here, you're probably just going, will you please get to the point? And that's what I'm going to do right now. So, I'm going to go back to March 5th of this year and episode number 15 of Yesteryear and Beyond, the shorts. And the topic is, why do we like the villain? Enjoy. Welcome to the Bygone Room, and welcome to Yesteryear and Beyond, the shorts, episode 15. Now, I have to make this brief because, as you can tell, this is a short and not a full-size episode. If you would like to see the only full-size episode that I've put out so far, and hopefully I'm going to be putting more out soon, but if you want to see that first episode, go to episode number 1 and take the hour and 39-minute challenge, all right? And then, hey, send me an email at this address and let me know what you think, okay? All right, so let me address the topic at hand. And that being, what is it as enthusiasts, whether that be comic book, whether it be TV show, movie, or regular literature enthusiasts, what is it that we like about the villain? Or the supervillain, for that matter? They're pretty much all the same. What is it that we seem to like about them? And even some of us, what is it about those villains that we seem to really want to root for them, okay? Root for them to win over the protagonist, over the hero. In fact, sometimes we just want to see that hero get beaten down really bad, just tortured. And I know some people are looking at this like, well, it's always been thought that you don't have a really good hero unless you have a good villain, a really good villain. It's the villain that makes the hero. But is that always true? Is it always the case? Sometimes I don't think that's the case so much. But anyhow, I mean, there's plenty of them out there. But what is it about us as fans that we seem to really want to root for Jason, Michael Myers, the Joker, Lex Luthor, Leatherface? What is it about these characters? I mean, my gosh, some of these are homicidal maniacs. All right, I mean they've destroyed tons and tons and tons and tons of people in their careers, only to be put away, only to escape, only to come back and do the same thing over and over again. I mean, that's just it. Now, you can't say that, of course, about Michael Myers or Jason. I mean, that's a whole different genre. But still, they go away, they come back the next movie, and they slice and dice and slash and do the thing, and, you know, the chainsaw and all that. And they run wild on a bunch of... Now, I know some people are probably saying, but, you know, when it comes to the movie villains, especially those type of villains, the people that they're wiping out are just so annoying. they're just written so annoying that you enjoy seeing them get wiped out. But still, I mean, that's murder. That's homicide. Why is it that we seem to enjoy that? Huh? It's just a question. That's all. So anyway, I'm pretty sure my time is up, so that's it. I will go ahead and expand on this again, like I said, on my regular show at some point, Yesteryear and Beyond. Tune in to Yesteryear and Beyond. Get your eyes on it.